Good morning. It's Atmadarshan once again. Hey, we're in the 20s for the days, so 3 weeks and more. Congratulations to you. Congratulations to all of us for following through on this sadhana. We have many more days to enjoy each other's company. I hope you had a chance to take a look at the thumbnail picture for this video. And if not, I invite you after the live broadcast to look on the playlist and see that thumbnail because there was quite a sky this morning. I'm going to talk to you a little bit about that. The theme of today is the animate versus the inanimate. And samatvam, as we talked about yesterday, is about seeing the same thing in everything. In everyone, there's the same divine spark. But in the Gita, there's even reference to inanimate objects having this spark. One of the things that Krishna talks about in one of the verses is those who are learned and established in themselves see the same thing in a pile of rocks and a pile of gold. So he also references inanimate objects. He compares himself to mountains, for example, and to oceans, not just things we would consider living. In fact, in chapter 1 of the Bhagavad Gita, the characters are named. You'll see a list of characters, but when the fighting is revving up, there's also talk about the conch shells that the fighters blow, and each conch shell has a name. For example, the king Yudhishthira, his conch is Anant Vijay, which is the conch of endless victory. And one of the younger twins has a conch Mani Pushpak, offering of jewels, and it is said to sound like a jewel-toned note when it's blown. Inanimate objects have spirit as well, have consciousness, have worth, and they talk to us. The world, the sky, some of us might consider the sky inanimate. So the picture is the sky talking to us here in Cleveland this morning. I titled the photo Fire in the Sky when I was sending it from my phone to my computer. And there's a very revered saying that's been passed down for centuries. It's well known in waterside communities, but not so much in landlocked communities. And that saying is, red sky in the morning, sailors take warning. Red sky in the night, sailors delight. It's a way of forecasting the weather, and I shared the picture because that's one of the reddest sunrises I've seen in a long time. And we do have a weather forecast of challenge today. It's already at freezing, but with the wind that's blowing now, it's several degrees below freezing, and we are supposed to have a very high wind advisory. I believe gale force winds again today, if not higher. So the inanimate world is trying to communicate with us. Why won't we listen to it? We're trained, perhaps in this culture, not to. And in other cultures, inanimate objects can be revered a bit more. In stories from the Indian subcontinent, for example, the deities, like Lord Shiv, are said to ride their vehicles. Their vehicles are not portrayed as inanimate objects, but they're animals, and they're not just animals, they are animals with intelligence. I think I have time for a brief story. So, Lord Shiva's ride, his vehicle, is Nandi, a bull. And often Shiva just rides Nandi around, but Nandi is actually looking out, choosing the best path and keeping his rider safe, not just during car trips, but it is said that at one juncture, Shiva's beloved, Shakti, who manifests in different forms because Shakti, Mother Nature, is always changing, Shakti appeared to have died from this world, and Lord Shiva was bereft of his consort, of his wife, of his ultimate beloved. She was reborn in a different village, a fisherman's village, and that village was ruled by a chief. And the chief was hesitant to give up his daughter the incarnation of Shakti to just anybody, of course. It was his little goddess, right? So, what Nandi did is he realized who this little baby was, and he purposefully turned himself into a shark and terrorized the people of this fishing village. And the chief of the fishing village grew so desperate that he said, I will give my daughter in marriage to whomever can defeat this shark. They all cried out to Lord Shiva, Shiva, help us. Shiva, benevolent one, send us your blessings, your help. And Shiva heard, he came, he captured the wily shark. And then the chieftain said, please, my lord, if it works for you, if it works for my daughter, take her in marriage. And Shiva and the girl recognized each other immediately for their eternal souls, that they were the cosmic lovers that create the universe. So Shiva and Shakti were reunited on this earthly plane, and Nandi turned back into a bull and was quite satisfied with himself. Today, I'm dedicating this practice to Nandi, both the abstract one, but also that's the name of my car, Nandi. And I must say, my car has carried me very well, and I think it steers itself sometimes. Like I'm not paying attention, and yet it gets me home somehow. And Nandi's having a little trouble today. So I'm hoping for your health, Nandi, and the health of all the inanimates that try to send us omens, that try to communicate and get our attention for our benefit. We will do our one-footed prayer pose, and for the meditation, I encourage you to dwell on some inanimate object that is precious to you. It could be a crucifix if you're a Christian, or a murti if you're a practicing Hindu. It could be a car. How many men in this culture love their cars, right? Something that is inanimate but that lets you connect to the divine within it. All right, we shall begin. It's a little bit harder to be a steady tree in the wind. Settle for the meditative practice about 5 minutes long, and remember, an inanimate object that connects you to the divine can be the focus today. coming back to the world of great beauty that wants to talk to us if only we'll listen. And I look forward to talking with you again tomorrow. Have a wonderful rest of your day. And if you're in the Cleveland area, take warning.